Hello, Facebook friends. All right, so we're gonna call it Tip Tuesday. Did you know it's Tip Tuesday? Did you think I made up Tip Tuesday? Do you think I make up something every time I go live on Facebook? Well, then you are right. That is totally what I do. But I always have an intention of what I want to talk about. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a while because we just started a challenge group on Monday and it's Tuesday. And so one of the things that we focus on right now is it's so weird to think about, and I want to try to explain. And I've been studying it for a while, and I've been try to tell people about it. But this book really helped me to kind of be able to explain a little bit better. So when you start in a new diet or whatever, or not even starting a new diet, because we don't call it that, we call it a lifestyle change. But when you're kind of getting back to more clean eating, there are forces against you. There are foreign invaders in your body that are actively working against you. So if you notice, probably around about Halloween or maybe a little into the holidays last year, if you did slide off of any healthy eating, that's about when it happened, and it is very purposeful. It's not by accident. Obviously, you didn't accidentally throw pounds of sugar and butter and whatever in your belly, but there's a real reason, and it has to do with microbes. Okay, so picture like when, I think it's Listerine, they have those commercials and they have like a petri dish and it's got all these gross like bacteria and fungus looking furry things in there, and then they put the Listerine or the Clorox or whatever those commercials are in, and it kills them all and you're magically healthy again or whatever. Okay, so those are microbes, right? There's all different kinds, bacteria, fungi, whatever, viruses, and contrary to those kind of commercials, not most of them, but lots of them are good, okay? So what's gonna really blow your mind and make you want to kind of throw up a little bit is, okay, so we have, we're made up all of cells, all of us, we're all made of cells. You, Michelle, Becky, Lindsay, Lori, you're made of cells. Nailed it, okay. We have about 70 trillion of them. That's what makes us up. Okay, so I want you to multiply that by 10. So I can't even do that math. I don't even really know how much that is. It's a lot. It's a lot. Non-human cells are in your body. So 70 trillion times 10 non-human cells in your body. Okay, and those are what we're calling microbes, which are single-cell organism, like we said, bacteria, fungus, yeast, all those different things. That's gross. So what we call it, like some people call it like, it's like a whole nother organ. Some scientists call it that. It's like a whole nother being in your body, okay? And these little guys, listen, they have personalities, okay? So like I said, just because a commercial kills them all, that's not right. You need them, obviously. They've been around since the beginning of the earth, okay? They are lasting things, and that's why we have them. Now, our bodies have evolved with them to help. They help us or they harm us, right? So we need them, and also they need to eat. What? This is getting really gross. Okay, think parasite, but not, right? Like, this is gross. I actually maybe don't even want to think about this. Okay, but, okay, so here's the thing. They have to eat. So there's 70 trillion times 10 of them in us, right? And they have to eat. That's like, they're like a whole nother being in us, non-human being in us. And they have to eat, right? Okay, so, like I said, some of them are good. Some of them, they make up our immune system. How much, what was the stat on that? Oh, I don't know. They make up like 40% of our immune system or something ridiculous. They are on our skin, so you want the good ones on your skin because they will kill the bad bacteria you come in contact with. You shake hands with that shady person, they'll kill that bacteria before it gets in your system. So some of them are good, right? They're in your gut. This is the big deal. This is we're landing the plane, but not even close. This is why we're talking about it. A lot of them are in your gut, and they are helping you to digest food. So they're breaking down the food, and then what's most important about them is they will help you absorb nutrients from that food. So we need them. We need these non-human things to do these things because our bodies don't do that without them, okay? So those are the good ones. Obviously, there's lots of them out there that cause disease and make us sick. We don't like those. So guess what? All of them have a preferred food source. What? Okay. And we decide which ones we want to feed, which ones we want to starve, and we basically create a an ecosystem. Our gut is the ecosystem for the good ones or the bad ones based on what we eat. So sexy. Right? Is it sexy? Come on, somebody tell me how sexy these non-human viruses in our belly are. Really great. Anyway, so the good ones like good food. I mean, this is going to shock you. The good ones like good food, the bad ones like bad food, and they send signals out. So that one day, remember that one day when you were like craving that fresh salad? You know it's happened at least once. Like, it's so happened. There was a balance, a good balance. Your good microbes were like winning the day that day. And they were like, yes, we need more salad. Give us more salad. Like, they outnumbered, they took a vote. They outnumbered the bad microbes. Okay. And they're like, yes, give us some salad. And that's good. These are the ones that are helping us to be healthy. They're breaking our food down. They're helping us absorb nutrients. They're building our immune system. They're fighting off bad bacteria. This is good. We want to feed them. Okay. And then, like, for example, right now, like I said, our challenge group, we're in day 2. You've stopped feeding the bad ones. And guess what signals they're seeing? They're dying out, okay? Like, yes, they're dying out. They're getting starved because you stopped feeding them their favorite food. Guess what it is? You're never going to guess. I don't know why I'm reading it. Carbohydrates and sugar. So shocking. Gosh, why does everything like them? And, hang on. I feel like it's more specific. Carbohydrate. Okay, so still others prefer carbohydrates and sugars. Okay, so they're sending out that signal. So when you're saying, I want something sweet, technically, you don't have to blame yourself. You can blame the bad microbes because they are starving and they're like, if you don't feed me, I'm gonna die. Give me a candy bar. And you're like, bad microbes, I'm really grossed out by the fact that you're in there, and I'm not going to feed you. I'm going to have some rabbit food. I'm so excited about all the rabbit food. Okay, so I wanted to read this. So let me just read this because it's word for word. If we feed ourselves sugary processed foods, then the microbes that thrive on them will proliferate and dominate our digestive system. So then we have IBS. We have, honestly, pretty much every disease that you can think of is linked to gut health, and so don't do it. Okay. Okay. And here's the thing that is really kind of going to paint the whole picture, right? Okay. This is what I like what he wrote. It's like a horror movie in there, your gut, right? We've been colonized by foreign beings telling us to do things that we might not do otherwise. It's kind of like the Matrix. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. And we obey, thinking we're the ones that want the ice cream without ever knowing that we're being played. Okay, so there's a lot, with science that we're trying to learn, which I always think is funny because, science, we're trying, right? But you got to try to be smart and just use common sense. But the science calls it the second brain. That's like the new term for the microbes, the 70 trillion times 10 microbes in your body that are not human cells but are functioning in your body and doing things. They call it the second brain because they send signals and they're very powerful. So when you're feeding them all those processed foods and all those starches and all those sugars, they are the ones that grow. And that's, yeast infections, all those there's so many things that can come from that. But once you start to starve them, and this is why the second or third or fourth or whatever day of a diet or going to a healthier, cleaner eating could be really hard because then they're going to get really angry and be like, where is my candy bar? And you'd be like, how about I command you a stew and some salad? What would you like? Would you like some lettuce? I'm just kidding. Obviously, that's not all you have to eat. But I want you to think about that. So when you're getting that signal, realize that you're winning because they're starving. That's why they're sending you that signal. They want their goods, but you're going to be smarter and you're going to abstain so that they can freaking die. Die. Foreign invaders, die. And all the good ones are going to live because you're going to feed them the good stuff, all the good stuff. And if it's natural, it's pretty much good. Okay? So if God made it, you can eat it. Super good like that. Okay. So what did we learn? We learned that Shayna can't do math, especially not live, we learned that if we're having a little bit of struggle, especially after the holidays, after we're trying to clean up our diet, and by diet I mean what we eat, then this is why, okay? So we want to build the good ones. We want our immune, you know, if you have a good environment, a good ecosystem in there, most disease, bacteria, virus, they don't stand a chance. That's why some people don't really get sick. I'm not saying you're completely immune, but if your body is able to fight it off because they have all the good microbes, hello, who doesn't want that? And so when I ate a lot of Reese's Pieces or whatever last month, I'm not gonna lie to you, but when I think about sugar, that's how I think. Like, it's evil. It will ruin my body. Okay? I'm not saying we're never going to have sugar again, but I just want you to think about that. If you're doing it over and over, you're feeding those bad ones, and they're not good. They're like the ugly thing from Independence Day, that whatever those are, it's like those. It's not Will Smith. Will Smith is not in your belly if you're eating all that, okay? Or Jeff Goldblum, and he's pretty funny. I don't mind it. I don't mind him being in my belly. I'm just saying. I don't even know. Okay. Well, I hope that was informational. I think it's kind of creepy, but super interesting, and it helps you to wrap your brain around it. And I feel like the more that we know in here, the better choices we'll make, or at least we'll know what we're doing when we make the bad ones, right? Okay, happy Tuesday. Remember, it was Tip Tuesday. I'm so good at naming things, especially if they're the same letter.